Wali is actually patient lah, bukan patient lah dah menerima transplant patient lagi. Okay, patient has received transplant. You are going to tell you your account of story lah. Go ahead Wali, cakap Melayu kau putih ke ikut suka je lah. So dalam ni ada my MO, staff dialysis and maybe a few housemen. Thanks Wali. Go ahead.
Alright. Thank you, Doctor. Okay, let me share my screen first. Okay, so boleh nampak
Boleh.
Salam sejahtera. So thank you Dr. Rafidah for the opportunity untuk share my journey. So nama penuh saya Khairul Syazwa Ali bin Taib. Okay, so this year I'm going to be 35 lah. Alright, so I'm a kidney transplant patient. Okay, so for my background, basically I am a very active in sport. Okay, so I tak pernah ambil any supplements and I control my diet sebab saya main rugby. So I play for the national level and saya main jugalah sukan-sukan lain. So for me, I believe that natural intake ataupun natural control is more powerful lah than ambil apa-apa supplements. So on 2016 May 2016, so saya didiagnosed with kidney failure lah. So basically my story, we went back on 2016 on that weekend, Sabtu Ahad tu saya ada tournament rugby, saya main rugby and then hari Isnin saya kena gout. So bila saya kena gout, saya pergi ke klinik macam biasa and then doktor tanya soalan lah, history apa semua. So for the information, saya tak ada family history background on diabetic or kidney failure. Okay, so then doktor just saya pergi klinik kesihatan, doktor ambil darah and then dia bagi saya ubat for gout and then dia suruh saya balik berehat and then dia kata dia akan info kalau ada result nanti. So Monday saya pergi jumpa doktor and then Rabu saya dapat call, doktor kata boleh tak saya datang ke klinik semula dengan kadar segera. So macam very urgent lah, quite emergency. So agak terkejut kat situ, but then Rabu tu saya pergi. So doktor tanyalah macam mana, apa semua sihat ke apa, how's the gout, progressing, okay tak okay. And then suddenly dia start tanyalah, dia macam dig more detail on my family history. Dia kata ada masalah buat pinggang ke ataupun ada simptom-simptom semua. So memang tak ada. Even alhamdulillah my mom still with me. Last year check up, all in a good condition. And adik-beradik saya semua alhamdulillah okay. So after that dia refer saya ke Hospital Serdang to make second confirmation lah, second point of view macam tu untuk double confirm. Sebab dia takut, dia kata machine blood test dia dekat klinik tu ada problem. So the same day I go to Hospital Serdang. That time my creatinine was 1000 plus, 1200. And then saya punya urea about 20 something, 24, 25 macam tu. And tapi saya punya condition is very stable lah. Saya tak ada simptom-simptom pening kepala, bengkak kaki semua tak ada. And then saya still ada urine, a very good output urine. So bila pergi dekat Hospital Serdang, doktor buat result darah, check darah apa semua, and result still sama. So doktor kata okay, datang balik another 1 week untuk kita tengok progressing macam mana. So after 1 week saya pergi, result dia sama, creatinine tak turun apa semua. Then by that time I was in denial. Doktor kata okay, for the second week I jumpa tu, doktor kata you punya kidney dah fail, you have a kidney failure, dah stage 5. And then by that time my kidney working GFR about 9%. Dia kata dah lah, you punya function tinggal 9% for both. Tapi saya rasa macam there must be something wrong lah, sebab I live a very healthy life apa semua, but suddenly I ada kidney failure. So bila continuous I pergi appointment weekly. So every Monday I akan datang sebab I cakap dengan doktor I nak give me some time lah. Okay, so during these 5 weeks, okay, 5 weeks, normally I rasa I sama macam orang lain. So we start Google how to reduce creatinine lah, apa semua. So I take lemon. So I start over exercise. For this 5 weeks, I lost about 12 kilo. So memang from 80, so I turun about 68, 67, something like that lah. So during that time, I still remember that doctor is the Chinese doctor in Kelang now. Oh, sorry. Okay. Doktor cakap, okay, I know it's hard to accept this, but then dia kata,
Irene.
you must remember. Dr. Irene, yes. Thank you, Doctor. Dr. Irene. So Dr. Irene is very, very helpful. So that time, Dr. Irene kata, I know it's very hard to accept, but then you must remember, you are the chosen one. So starting from that point, I try to accept this condition. Okay, and then Dr. Irene, she start to prepare me with all the treatments lah. So she asked me to go to counselling for PD and HD. Okay, so during that time I ada special request juga dekat dia. I cakap, so I gone through the counselling, so I know a little bit about what is HD, what is PD, but then I want to talk directly to the patient itself, who doing HD, who doing PD, because for me, the patient will have the real life experience. So I think the patient to patient engagement sangat-sangat penting lah. So alhamdulillah that time saya dapat jumpa ada seorang patient, a lady. That time kakak tu is pregnant 5 months. Before this dia doing PD. But that time dia kena buat HD sebab dia tengah pregnant. So saya jumpa dengan dia, so I berburak dengan dia about 1 hour juga. So dia beritahu lah experience dia in HD, in PD, and how to manage everything. So from that, I decide to opt for PD lah, peritoneal dialysis. Okay, so bila dah tahu semua, doktor nak buat biopsi. So doktor buat ultrasound dulu to know the cause of my kidney failure. So that time baru dapat tahu lah I ada polycystic kidney disease. Alright, so I opt for peritoneal dialysis. Saya buat CAPD sehari 4 kali, and during my CAPD, saya still bekerja. Alhamdulillah, saya berbincang dengan management office saya. That time saya bekerja di Kilang, di Shah Alam. So saya berbincang dengan management Kilang saya, so saya minta saya masuk kepada shift. Okay, sebab shift dia pendekkan sikit working hours. But then I need to work in 3 shift lah. So that time, alhamdulillah, I can adjust my exchange time. So I cukup 4 kali sehari, and that time my condition is, for me, is very good lah. And throughout I buat CAPD, saya punya urine output okay, maintain macam biasa. So saya tak ada masalah air dalam badan apa semua, kaki bengkak, tak ada, alhamdulillah. So dalam masa yang sama, since sebelum sakit tu, I memang sangat aktif, memang rugby. So once I dah ada tube dekat badan for PD, so dia macam kita punya natural, I tak boleh duduk diam. So I try to find any activity or exercise yang boleh limit to ourselves lah. Okay, yang boleh masuk dalam skop PD, yang tak mengganggu tube apa semua. So I start to do running lah. Okay, short distance running, long distance running, and you can see on the picture. So I run half marathon with the tube. Okay, so far alhamdulillah. And the reason I pilih PD is first is because of its home based dialysis lah. So I tak perlu travel to pergi center ke apa-apa. And then the flexibility, so we can adjust our time. And for me, this is a gentle dialysis. How I define this gentle dialysis, so I can share. During I buat PD, I ada juga a little bit complication lah, such as macam umbilical hernia. Okay, so umbilical hernia, So I do repairing. Okay, so during that healing period, so I kena buat HD lah. So I pakai AJC for 8 weeks. So memang a lot of difference lah between HD dengan PD. So for me, PD is a very gentle dialysis. So that's why I prefer PD. And then dalam masa yang sama, on 2018, saya pernah kena dia macam stroke. Okay, so it contracts all the muscle. So bila pergi to ED, emergency, doctor check my magnesium and potassium is extremely low. And then going to 2019, so saya ada unstable heartbeat rhythm lah. So jantung saya tak berapa cantik feeling. So this pun sama sebab calcium and phosphate imbalance. So alhamdulillah, as macam Dr. Rafida introduce just now, saya dah transplant. So my magical date is on 22nd January 2019. So for me very magical. Saya start dialysis on 2016. So by that time saya bagi tahu all the family members yang saya akan buat dialysis dari kidney failure. So doctor suggest all other family member pergi buat check up since my disease is PKD, so maybe related to other family members. So bila pergi check up semua, alhamdulillah semua sihat. And on 2017, saya still follow up dengan Serdang. So ada one time, that time saya pergi appointment TCA saya 3 bulan sekali. So saya jumpa Dr. Fadlina on that time kat Serdang. So Dr. Fadlina bagi tahu semua, so far dia kata okay, you punya result semua puas hati, so far okay, stable, alhamdulillah, so continue ubat. And then dia kata for the next appointment, please bawa abang you sekali. So that time saya memang terkejut lah sebab saya takut that abang saya ada masalah yang sama because PKD we know macam apa, penyakit genetik kan. So bila saya tanya kenapa apa semua, and then doktor cakap, oh okay, actually last month you punya brother dah datang, so dia dah voice out dia nak jadi you punya donor, and then dia dah buat some early initial testing lah, macam blood test apa semua. Saya macam tak percaya, okay, I'm speechless, and then me and my wife macam tak sangka lah. Just to share with you guys, me and my brother, we barely talks. But then we know we care for each other, but we barely talks. So starting from that, saya pergilah check up dengan abang saya. So we went through a lot of workout. Okay, so this is my brother. Okay. Sorry. So we went a list of check up lah, banyak check up lah. Ada buat stress test, cross match, and then ada buat macam-macam test lah for me. So it took us about 2 years. Actually on 2018 kita orang ada dah dapat potential date, but then on that date my late father died, so we postpone it. And so the date become on the 2019 lah, January. But then everything alhamdulillah. As for now, saya dah more than 2 years transplant. So I'm living my new life, okay, in the new normal, alhamdulillah. And my new life means I started everything new. I even got a new job, okay, because transplant definitely is the best treatment yang I rasa I boleh jadi manusia biasa balik. So the difference is I just kena makan ubat lah, compare to I kena buat dialysis, kena makan ubat. So kalau you ask me as a patient, kalau doktor selalu cakap after transplant you need to very discipline with your medication routine dan semua, sepatutnya tak ada masalah sebab bila kita dialysis pun kita makan ubat. So bila kita dah transplant, the difference is kita dah tak payah buat dialysis. We need to take the medication lah. Then after transplant, me and my brother kita selalu juga do some sharing session on media sosial and then on television. So for me that last time during my time sakit tu, even though 2016, saya rasa memang sangat susah lah kita nak dapat info-info yang sahih, okay, ataupun tepat lah. Okay, info banyak, we can just Google and everything, but when we Google normally akan keluar yang from overseas lah. So tak banyak yang daripada Malaysia punya info. So I just want to share some video. Okay, itu sedikit saya punya video throughout the transplant journey. So for transplant, after transplant, life after transplant, for the first 6 weeks saya kena check up 3 kali seminggu. So the next 6 week saya check up 2 kali seminggu, and the next 6 week is sekali seminggu. So after that becomes 2 minggu sekali, 3 minggu sekali, and then sebulan sekali, and now alhamdulillah saya dah ke 4 bulan sekali lah. Okay, so after transplant, I lead a very better quality life. Okay, so saya dah travel. Normally, kalau transplant patient for the first year, it's not advisable to travel, but alhamdulillah, I transplant on January, and on September, I dah travel to Japan for business purposes. Okay, and then I went